Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. I apologize that the videos of the past few weeks have been a bit late, and that's the way it might be for a while. When spring training games begin, the plan is going to be to getting back to doing a video every day. That's the tentative plan, but it is subject to change just depending on what I'm able to do. But now to dive into tonight's topic. The off season for the Giants, just like for everybody else, has just gone slower than normal. But I want to just be very clear in my overall analysis that I think the Giants have done a terrible job this offseason. I see that Blake Snell and Cody Bellinger are both still free agents, and how long that's going to be, I don't know, and I think it couldn't be too much longer, but there's just no reason to even think that the Giants are actively pursuing them. That they're still thinking about their perceived constraints and perceived risks just too much to even be willing to jump or dive into anything at all. So I will just be straight and say overall that the offseason has been a terrible one, and that their performance overall during the offseason has been terrible. But in the middle of all of that, we have seen some positives that could potentially be promising, and I think the things that are really way up there on that list are the signings of Robbie Ray and of Jordan Hicks, respectively. And I mentioned that the thing that should amaze us about Hicks is the fact that he's going to be joining the Giants rotation, or at least they're going to give him a shot to do so. But other than that, though, the focus on starting pitching has been all talk and no action. The Giants they're very able to talk about their need for starting pitching and how they want to focus on adding it, but when it comes to taking action, we just do not see it happen. And I think the Giants are still in that boat. It is all talk and no action. So, has the front office done enough? No, it has not. Has anything happened yet to justify the extension of Farhan Zaidi through literally 2026? No, nothing has happened to do that. However, I do at the same time want to look at a signing that I believe is really good, at least based on the numbers. The Giants just recently signed Jorge Soler to a 3-year, $42 million contract. Soler is a guy who, it's not just that he was a star at one point in his career, but now he is actually coming off a year where he posted great numbers. His OPS was over 800, and unfortunately, I'm not able to remember what it exactly was, but he's a guy who's able to hit for power, and also, get on base enough that his overall numbers are actually good. So he's coming off a year where he put up good numbers offensively. He has good offensive numbers for the vast majority of his career. It's something that the Giants need just a whole ton right now. The issue with Soler, I'll mention it, and then I'll mention why it's a good thing that the Giants didn't choose to make this an issue. He is limited defensively, and that most likely that just because the Giants, they wanted to do what they always talk about, which is getting younger and more athletic, and I'm kind of tired of hearing that, because athleticism doesn't mean necessarily playing baseball right. It has not always for the Giants. in the past. Just history will prove that for them, and it might seem counterintuitive because too much of all this veteran stuff and all that, but in reality it's not, because they've had so many prospects that were supposed to be good and they didn't materialize. And when are you going to materialize them? Like, when is it supposed to happen? For each of those individuals, you ask the same question as we're asking for the team dynamic and the whole long-term goals for the team. When is it time to win a championship? If there is no definite plan there for the Giants, no way for them to get back to the first half of the last decade, then they are not doing baseball business right. It is that simple. We don't need to try to explain that reality away. But it's been a thing for them that I think we know what they mean when they say they want to get more athletic. I think, to be fair and all of that, they do mean things like playing defense, making plays they should make, because the last few years have been characteristic of a number of pretty bad mess-ups in that area for the Giants. But the good thing in all of that is that did not make them lose their focus on Soler when he was just a really good option offensively. And then, too, he is likely to be their primary DH. I think Soler should DH every single game. Just that fill up the spot. Yeah, no, you can't give guys partial days off. That's not what the spot should be for, unless there is no better use for it. And here, there is a better use for it. If Soler could just be their full-time DH and hit. They found the correct use for the DH spot, and there's don't need to give guys partial days off. The best 9 should be on the field. The best 9 should be hitting. And in current baseball rules, that is different only by one spot on the field. And Jorge Soler here is the perfect DH candidate. He can also, if he was playing at DH for the majority of his games, then he could also primarily focus on his hitting. And yes, that does mean that Tom Murphy is he obviously wouldn't be able to be in the DH spot if Soler was there for every game. But I still think that having him as a guy to hit lefties, even as a pinch hitter in certain situations off the bench, it might pay, honestly. So it's not like there is no further use for Tom Murphy, regardless of some things that I commented on about him previously. So that's where the Giants stand, and now they have added something really good to their lineup. So we have to say that this move, at least, though it doesn't excuse their other failures, it at least is a good one. And in addition, they've made a couple of other signings. One was relief pitcher Austin Warren. It's low risk, so I'm not criticizing the move because it's low risk, but it's not a good one, as he's coming off Tommy John surgery and then poor numbers before that. So I don't think the Giants have gained anything by gaining him. And Amir Garrett is on a minor league deal, so I think we say something similar where I guess if he isn't good in spring training, he doesn't make the team. That's this lefty reliever is going to be the Giants' attitude toward him has to be, and it probably will be, that they are just trying him out. So anyway, that's all the Giants have done. And like I said, it's still overall bad what has been happening this offseason. But they did land one promising player in Jorge Soler, and we'll have to see if that makes a difference. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.